imagine now you have a video for every use case of your product. Yes, you can reduce by 25% your number of tickets. Yeah.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Excuse My SaaS, the podcast where we explore the stories behind SaaS product and the people who build them. I'm Matei, your host and co-founder of Prodcamp, the solution that converts user feedback into product impact. Now, I'm really excited about today's guest. I had the chance to meet Axel at B2B Rocks in Paris a few weeks ago. And let me tell you, his solution, Story2Doc, was one of the software that absolutely blew my mind. Story2Doc is changing the way we think about user documentation by automating it with AI. And I knew I had to bring him on the show to share more about it. Axel is the CEO and founder of Story2Doc, and he has over 15 years experience helping build software product that people love. Today, we'll dive into Axel's journey and the shift from building stuff for clients to creating his own SaaS product, and the incredible role AI plays in automating user documentation. So let's get into it, Axel. Welcome to the show. Did I forget anything?
No, it's perfect. Thank you, mate.
Great. So let's dive in straight away with the first question. It's really great to have you here, and I want to start by talking about the origin of Story2Doc, if that's okay. When we met at
Yeah.
B2B Rocks, it was clear you had something unique on your hands. What was the driving force behind creating Story2Doc and the problem it solved? Was there a particular pain point or industry need that pushed you to develop a solution for automated user documentation?
Yeah. So at the beginning, we are a SaaS studio named Itelight. So a B2B SaaS studio for startup. So we help them from really the idea, to validate the concept that can penetrate the market. And from this, we can help them to build the MVP. I don't love to call this MVP. I prefer MLP, a minimum lovable product, or UX way, minimum and shorter. And yeah, for every SaaS that we have, that we shipped, in the back in time, always we got the same problem. Yeah, the same problem. Or we need to create and update the user product documentation. And in this SaaS studio mode, customer rates not educate, they're not SaaS owner. They're first time doesn't understand why we need so much documentation. But as builder, we know why, it's really efficiency. You can build something little if you don't have doc, but if you want to grow, and move fast and be efficient as a product team, you need to have some documentation.
Right.
So yeah, the pain was really this. We tried to understand if we are not the only one, with this problem. So I did, I think 50 interview, 50 interview of product manager from 0 to 600 employees, and asked always the same question, really exploratory call, discovery call on the user product documentation. And I even put this into a benchmark, user product documentation benchmark, on user tech and knowledge documentation, because we have 3 types of document.
Okay. Okay, very interesting. So you did some extensive research on top of, yourself experiencing the problem. That's really interesting. So one thing that really stood out to me was how Story2Doc actually use AI to do this job and to create and update documentation. Can you explain in a few words how that works? It's not a demo. We're not here for a demo, but what makes this approach different from the manual traditional method most companies rely on?
Yeah, so right now, if you want to create some user product documentation, people do it manually. Clearly, right now, product manager do it manually with time they have. So they're really little, normally 2 days per month, approximately. So if you are less than that, you are less than the average. And they do it manually in general text software. So it can be everything, Google Doc, etc., or really knowledge base like Notion. So yeah, it's really generalist. The problem is that the documentation user doc is only text and image, and it's a problem for consumption because people don't love text and image. They don't read it, they don't like to read. So they prefer a good video, a good Netflix movie, easy to read, easy to consume. And so people move, naturally. They try to do it manually in video. And
Mm-hmm.
it's failed. It's failed another time because when you create video manually, it's really difficult, really difficult.
Mm-hmm.
I think from all my interview, they try 4 to 5 times to create one good video. And
Mm-hmm.
the video is too long, 10 minutes, 15 minutes is too long for a video for user documentation.
Mm-hmm.
And the last part, I think the worst problem, you need to update it. And it's a nightmare. And so you don't do it.
Yeah.
And you are here with your video and you say, yeah, we will do another project. We will need to update everything. So all the documentation, is more in a roller coaster in project mode. And your
Mm-hmm.
product is more in continuous improvement. So you have a problem because we need with the documentation, I think, to go in continuous improvement as the product. Okay.
Right.
And so I go to the point to answer your question, right? How the AI help this is because we need only a user story, so a title, okay, a goal. Okay, as a user, I want to create the deal in Pipedrive, so in a CRM, so I can see it on my dashboard. Okay, I can see it in my list. We take login password on Pipedrive. We connect to Pipedrive to the SaaS, and the AI
Mm-hmm.
will find the way. So really the great thing is this, is that it's the AI that reflect, analyze the page and see where do I click and click on it and move and reach the goal of the users. We use AI not in an generative way, but most
Mm-hmm.
people do. Okay, so it's great and it's great generative AI, but we use it more in a reflection way. So to find the path, in the software. So where do I click? What do I do to reach my goal? And it's really interesting because the product manager that need normally to record everything manually don't need to do this anymore, but will need to validate product story. We call video that we produce interactive video product story.
Mm-hmm.
So the product manager need to validate them because AI can find a way, but from time to time they will not find a way. But it's cool thing because I always say that AI is like a good internship, a really good, really smart internship. So if an intern doesn't find the way, in your software, it's a red flag in some way.
Right. Probably you have to do something on your UX.
Yeah, yeah. It's really interesting because when AI fail, normally you have a UX problem.
Right. Right. Really, really interesting.
Yeah, it's really for all our customer right now. So everything that can be automated, and there are a lot, is cool. And what is not automated, you need to upgrade your software, and it will be automated. So it's really cool to see it moving. You increase the value of your software, and you by increasing the documentation, the value of your documentation.
Great, great, love it. So the concept is favor video for consumption, to favor consumption, easy consumption at least. Create manually short video is quite hard. You mentioned it, and it needs update constantly because the product keeps evolving. Otherwise, it gets outdated. And so your solution, and that's one of the things I found really interesting, using AI, as you said, in a different way than the broad usage of AI right now, giving a pass and a role to the AI so he can perform the action and film it while he's performing. So that's a really great one. And the fact I was in the middle of creating video for documentation for ProdCamp when we talked, so that was another reason for me to be really interested by your solution.
We will talk.
Right. So, you mentioned that Story2Doc automates about 90% of the work involved in documentation, which is really incredible. We said how this impact product team and the work of the product team, about documentation. But how does this impact also different teams, support, onboarding? What kind of efficiency gain do you envision and have your client experience?
Yeah. So really, really easy to answer you. Right now, we talk really to product manager, okay? So for them, they save 90% on their time to create and update because the updating part is the big pain, I think. Yeah. So for the creation, updating is really easy, but yeah, it's the first benefit because when you start, and we see with all our customers, when you start to have 20, 15 video, interactive video all at the same time on your product, is beginning to create alignment, okay, in your team. Okay, so you start with the product, but everybody work, in a business, SaaS business, everybody work with the product, on the product, sell the product, market the product, etc. Only product efficiency in SaaS is business efficiency, I think, really, because everybody knows what is the product now and even what was the product before, because as
Right.
we do it for each release, we do product versioning, product experience versioning. So it's really cool to know what was our onboarding 2 version ago, because we have a
Mhm.
metric that, boom, chat was really a failure, and we want to know why the decrease, etc., etc. So we start with the product, and after, I think the second benefit is really the team for alignment. You can save what we see with our customer right now. They save 75% of time of alignment meeting. They don't show anymore the product in meetings. They send a
Mhm.
product story. Okay,
Right.
because it's a content that you can consume asynchronously before the meeting, after the meeting, and communicate really well what is the product. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is for the team. And the first thing, it's really something people don't value at the beginning, but when they start to use it, they love it because
Mhm.
it's so easier when you have a video for everything to communicate and to exchange.
Right.
So this is the first thing, and you have over because at the beginning the product, and it go like this, so like a circle, and after you have so the support, success, marketing, love it too. A lot of our customer right now, all the marketing teams say, "Hey, can we use a video?" The success say the same thing because everyone try to create over content, on what is the product. And now you have a library that's always update with video on what is the product right now. So it's really
Right.
great. So for support, you save 25% on ticket. So it's huge. And because for a company normally with only 20 employee, okay, you have 3 to 4 people at support and success combined, to help people. So 25% is like one people really fast in SaaS business
Mhm. Mhm.
because, and I always say to prospect when they show the product, I say, hey, imagine now you have a video for every use case of your product. Yes, you can reduce by 25% your number of tickets. Yeah. And it's
Right.
just tickets, because every people in your team, success, support, marketing need to create some content to explain, yeah, you can do this and in our product. Come on. Yeah, do it like this, etc. All the how to, we have it. So you don't need to create. So yeah, and the last one, and it's really good because all our customers use it and love it, is really the quality. Because we are another layer, we are in production, so we are a quality control because as we redo all the documentation for each release, we need to do the thing, on the SaaS on production. So
Mhm. Mhm.
if we fail to do it, maybe you have a
Maybe there's
problem.
a bug.
Yeah, we call the product manager to check it, to check the video, to check the user story. And the product manager check it. And is one of the story of our customer right now. He did it. He had 115 users to product story
Mhm.
and 3 failed. So 3 failed, and so we asked them to check it. He received an email, check it. He checked it, and yeah, all of them was what really product bug. And so he take the tree link, product story, and send it directly to his PO. He was his CPO, Pierre. And yeah, please correct, And what is cool is to communicate. You have just to send the link because you have already, all the context with the user story. You know what's failed in in which case.
Right. Right.
So yeah, it's really good for quality control because even if we have and we love quality, as a SaaS studio, we have quality assurance, but it's before the release. But on production, we don't have a lot of things, and there are always something that can pass all our tests. And normally, it's more user that will get you
Right. Get
that will
back to
send
you
you
with
back.
feedback. Right.
So here on day one of the release, they get three problems that they correct before having a problem with a customer.
Great. That's really interesting. The usage of the solution as a kind of additional QA cycle.
Yeah,
And I think I really believe that product knowledge management is underrated. Whether
I think
it's for internal use or either for customers, it's really underrated and has can have a great impact on all the lines of the business. And even when you think about it on, not only onboarding customers, but also, onboarding CS, onboarding sales team, onboarding new people in the company that can get up to speed with the product in a much easier way because suddenly you have this big library and it's always a struggle, I think, for especially for early stage or mid stage startup that where the product evolves a lot to keep this knowledge base and product knowledge base ready for everyone. So I really like the way you approach this, and the power of the product is definitely something that solves a real world problem.
thank you to mention it because really I missed it, so onboarding, and you're really right because all our customers right now tell us this: they win half, so 50% of time on onboarding. And we have a lot of startups, so when you scale, it's really complex. It takes 1 week to 2 weeks to explain the product to someone, or use case, or type of user, etc., etc. As we do the product story on each type of user, it's really cool. You know what an admin can do, what the user can do, etc. So it's really cool for onboarding people. Yeah, you win so much time. You send the product library and say, "Hey, come back when you have each
With
everything."
questions,
And
yeah, yeah,
yeah, with
yeah, and
question,
yeah,
ask
that's
with feedback.
yeah.
Because when you send only the product, you don't understand it because you need to do all the thing in the good way in the success journey path. And people are lazy, so they don't do it right away, and time pass. But you, as a manager, as a business owner, you need people to ramp up fast, because
Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So
That's a big
and you
one.
do it manually, and you do it manually.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's really a
So
big
that's a
one.
big one. Yeah, and so just to come back a bit, so you mentioned that usually, that's the QA part of what StorytoDoc does is user doing it, and that's also how we get feedback sometimes, even if it's not in the best best scenario necessarily. I know you spend a lot of time helping SaaS founders and companies build product that people love to use. What's your approach when creating something like StorytoDoc to ensure that it really resonates and resonate maybe more and more with users and keep their needs at the forefront? Any tips, any approach you prefer?
Yeah, we do many things because as product, but I'm a designer. I love to create things, so I love great experience. And yeah, I think it's really important to have something to love. For me, it's better to start with something small and be sure to validate. You have a hypothesis and you need to validate everything. And so what we do a lot of discovery. I record everything. I think Story2Doc is my life project because it's my way of life. I document everything, everything. I have all my call since 5 years ago. I think it's like maybe not 1 tera octet of data, but it's big. It's big. And I do this on Google Map. I do this for everything. So yeah, to help to create a product that people love. We do discovery, we do test. We test a lot. So as a little bit like Intercom is a great company and do this too. And so we create something, use a user vote, to understand more what they value for on their point. But I always try to find the best way, a best solution is really the problem and the solution that you need to validate. And to validate the solution, we always do like for big project or with, some risk, we always do some prototype. And so
Okay.
we try with customer, we ping pong concept, and we do this too with experts in the field. It's something I read a lot of book. I love reading. I read a book every 2 weeks, I think. And so it's an Apple thing. At Apple, because they have a secret, there are a lot of secret at Apple. You cannot try outdoor on your own customer. So they beta test between experts internally.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I try this. It's really cool to do this. So I will do a prototype, and before testing with customer, my solution, I will bring more UX guy, more, more people in the UX field and say, hey, how can I do a better experience? Give me feedback, give me positive or negative, give me feedback, and can you do better than me, like a challenge. I love to do this. It's really, it creates, higher level of experience at the first time. And after we test it with user customer, and we get some feedback, but we have developed nothing, we are only in the
Right. Yeah.
experience UX.
No effort yet.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, because at first from my study, I'm a developer, but
Mhm.
I did many things. So developer, marketer, UX, product manager. So yeah, I know all the problem of a product team by myself, because I did it. And yeah, as a developer, and I know that when you have done the first version, it's a cost we always be higher to modify it, always. So it's really cool if you can go faster and with higher quality for less. So for me, it's product efficiency. And I love everything that can add up to this, to product efficiency.
Love it. Great. Moving on and looking ahead a bit, StorytoDoc is an AI solution. Do you see AI evolving beyond just maybe automating documentation, even if that's a big one already? Could it go as far as maybe, I don't know, personalizing entire product experience based on user behavior or user role? Anything you see in the future, anything you imagine regarding this?
There are many, many things with AI right now. So we use it like you don't see it so much in our product, but it's really in the back door, you will see more and more. But for me, AI is really something, not the generative part, but more the automation of workflow that need to be validated by human. I think you need to keep human in the loop every time. And I think there are a lot of hype on AI, but for a reason, it's really great and it will be greater and greater. But right now, you always need a validation, a human validation. Okay. So can't automate everything by itself, but it can automate part of the work, part of the workflow. Okay. That a human need to validate and to move forward.
Right,
I think
right.
really this is the need of AI right now.
So combination of AI and human, and not yet to the point where AI can automate alone stuff. I'm really excited
No, I
about
played.
Orion going out soon and seeing the capabilities of it. I know the new model is coming out soon, but I agree. For now, in most cases, human validation is a big thing.
It's really exciting to see all model. I read all the paper that I have time to read because a research paper take a little bit a
Yeah,
long time to read. It's really interesting. I take them all, read it, put some context in it. But I think we need to have some control and understand because it's really a black door. So for human that do the work, it's really complex. If it does this without context, without knowledge, if it don't know how it works behind, it's complex to validate. So I think what we need is a better way to interact with AI in a workflow. So there are many companies that work on this, but
Yeah.
the AI agent that do everything and you don't work anymore, no, not
Not
right
yet.
now.
Yeah, we're
Not
still far
yet.
from that. Well, that's
Not
the good
yet.
news. We still have some some
Hopefully,
some
hopefully it's
some
cool.
work for some time at least.
At least.
Awesome. Yeah, yeah. Let's see for how long. Thank you so much, Axel. It's really, really interesting. I want to shift a bit more on another part of the topic. You spent years building apps for other companies, for your SaaS studio. What were the biggest challenges in transitioning from actually working on, client-driven projects to focusing on your own product, StorytoDoc?
There are many, but I think two of them. I think two of them because as a SaaS studio, you are more in a project-based, format, and you are is the way to do it. Even if you want to be in product mode, you need to phase it, in project. So it's
Yeah,
product and project. You can do it like that. But for our product in Story2Doc, I think is that. So passing from project to full product mode, and is something. But I love product. I co-animate a product club for a group of product manager in France, and we do a call on product and AI every 2 months because it changes so fast, in product.
yeah.
And we speak about that, about the product AI, how it's evolved, how we use it, use case, Rex on this. And so to answer your question, this is the first thing. So going full in product mode on one software, on one product. And the second is really the GTM because as a SaaS studio, we are a product studio. So we do really only the product for all the sales motion, marketing motion, GTM, positioning, pricing, etc. is another thing. So I read a lot. I read a lot and I use many methodology. I love workshop and this kind of thing. And yeah, and so I think the GTM part is really a complex thing, and the positioning was complex, but it's really great. I love it now because I understand it really well now, but it's really complex.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. We are approaching from to the end of the interview, and it has been really, really interesting, packed with insights. And I wanted to touch on, a bit, just maybe an advice you could give or something. You've been working in SaaS for over, 15 years now. You've been seeing the industry also changed. What would you say maybe to a founder that just, starting out, or maybe even more experienced, looking to build a scalable AI SaaS product in today's very competitive and full of AI wrappers market? Anything you would say to
Okay.
someone?
Yeah, you're right to precise your question. AI SaaS. I think now as a SaaS studio, we haven't a SaaS that we produce or create or try to ideate, without AI. So you will have AI everywhere. But so if you want to launch a product right now, it's really the same thing as before, but with AI on top. So the same thing as before is really be careful to narrow down. Okay, one user, so one champion you want to change their life and their outcome in their business. One use case that you will dramatically, change from not incremental, but 10x better. You need to be 10x better. And 10x is not easy to do. You need to work, rework, retest, and do only that.
Right,
And for many founders, it's really complex to do only that. They want
right.
to
To stop
do
there. Yeah,
more, everything, this more with this in, but no, it's not the way. So it's really complex to do really one thing great and continue to learn. So to have more knowledge, but on your market. And the second thing I think is really try to find and did a really great job of work really on this right now on a new way of describing our ICP for the GTM. And I think it's really the second thing. So build something small but really good and try to, in the same way, in parallel, try to understand well what criteria, have all of your ICP, so ideal customer profile.
right. Love it.
Because Because the long game, I think, is really that, you need to know what is your ideal customer profile with a lot of criteria. At the beginning, criteria is just an hypothesis that you need to validate, like your solution, like your problem.
Yeah, I love it. Love it. I love the focus on precise ACPs and nailing it down at a very granular level, like you said now.
Yeah. And I just add something. It's really complex for founder to do it for one reason that I some way I didn't know how, but I understand that it's for this reason it's complex to do it. It's because if we are polarized to do the opposite. Okay, if we want to for investor, if you want to show that you have a market, you want to grow the thing, you know.
Right.
But to start, you need to shrink the thing.
Right, right. That's a paradox. Yeah, you ask it to
It's a
go
paradox.
after a big attainable market, the big money, while at first you should narrow it down. Love it. Love the demonstration. Axel, this has been a fantastic conversation. Thank you so much for sharing your insight. Before we wrap up, just where can people learn more about Story2Doc and get in touch with you? And we'll drop that in the comments.
Yeah, no problem. So I will show you. So StorytoDoc.AI.
Awesome.
So go on this. We have on the website, you only have a waiting list, but sign up. You will be in for the beta, open beta. And if you want to be in touch with me, if you have seen this podcast, contact me on LinkedIn. I'm always on LinkedIn.
Awesome. Awesome. Thanks again to Axel for joining us today. Thank you, everyone. I found you found this episode valuable. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to Excuse My SaaS on YouTube for more insightful conversation, and also follow us on LinkedIn. We'll drop the link in description of this video. Thanks for listening. I will see you in the next episode. Keep discovering and building for impact. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Matei.